an original mistake here, which is that Hunter Biden should not have been on the board of Burisma. It was too close to what Joe Biden's governing responsibilities were. And they have owned that mistake. But underneath that, it's really important for people to understand there's no evidence that that had any impact whatsoever on Joe Biden's actions. And one of the other things that's so frustrating about this, Tommy, is here we are dissecting this to determine the worst thing that we could potentially identify in all of this is whether or not Joe Biden took a meeting with someone, which he denies doing. Donald Trump and his family have monetized the entire federal government. Like their entire approach to government is that meeting that they're charging that Joe Biden had, right? They monetize relationships with foreign countries. They make the U.S. government pay Trump properties over and over again, right? I mean, so there's no sense of proportionality in how this information is presented. I mean, the idea that we're even having this extensive conversation about Hunter Biden when the president of the United States' children are profiting in all manner of ways. Ivanka Trump is getting trademarks out of China. God only knows, how much Eric Trump is profiting from the U.S. government paying exorbitant fees to stay at Trump properties. I mean, this is corruption on a mass scale that dwarfs even what they're alleging Hunter Biden did.
Yeah. I personally I think we know the what about case. I just think they're closing very stupidly. Like Hunter Biden isn't running for president. You know what I mean? Like I just don't even get why you would focus on this. Right.
Well, one other thing I want to say about this is Hunter Biden's clearly a troubled guy. Right. And they've harped on things like his addiction. This is also a guy whose mother and sister were killed in a car crash when he was a kid and he was badly injured, whose heroic brother, Beau Biden, died from brain cancer.
Tragically. This
is a guy who's been dealt just an awful hand, in life. How about having some empathy for this guy? And I think you're right. It's a dumb closing argument because in a pandemic and a recession and everything else, talking about Hunter Biden isn't exactly where people's heads are. But also, can we please detoxify the cruelty out of our politics here? There's something cruel. And it was in the debate, I think everybody saw that wasn't effective when he's yelling at Joe Biden about his son being a druggie. I mean, Joe Biden loves that son ferociously, in part because Joe Biden was with them in the hospital when their mother and sister were killed in a car accident, and because they had to lean on each other when Beau died. So this is kind of missing from some of the coverage, just how grotesque and kind of cruel it is to be dragging this guy relentlessly through the mud like this.
Yeah, I honestly, I think it's coming through. I think the cruelty is coming through. Everyone knows someone who's had an addiction problem. Everyone has a family member that's suffered. What they're doing is just horrific. But let's just turn to a related